In a world that never stops, a world of constant noise and relentless pressure, true peace can feel like a distant dream. But what if tranquility isn't found by escaping your life, but by transforming how you live it? This isn't a path of retreat. It is a path of transformation. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy forged for modern chaos, teaches us not merely to survive life's storms, but to thrive within them. It offers mastery, not over others, but over the one thing we truly command, ourselves. Welcome to Stoic Journal, where ancient wisdom meets the challenges of today. If you are ready to embrace strategies that will empower you to sail through turbulent waters with grace and resilience, you have found your harbor. Today, we dive deep into the heart of Stoicism, exploring how this timeless wisdom is more than a philosophy. It is a practical toolkit for building a richer, more fortified life. If you seek to turn trials into triumphs and cultivate a serenity that endures, your journey begins now. Together, we will unlock the secrets of Stoicism and learn to harness its power day by day, transforming every obstacle into a stepping stone toward personal fulfillment. To support this journey and ensure you don't miss a single insight, I invite you to subscribe. Each lesson builds upon the last, weaving a tapestry that can reshape your understanding and your life. When we explore the teachings of Stoicism, we encounter its most powerful principle, the concept of control. This ancient idea, born over 2 millennia ago, is an essential tool for our modern, hectic lives. Stoicism teaches a simple yet profound truth. Our real power lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering the world within us. It is the art of understanding what is truly within our grasp, our thoughts, our reactions, and our choices. Consider how often we are frustrated by things we cannot change. The weather that ruins our plans, the traffic that makes us late. Our first instinct is to let these external events disturb our peace. Stoicism invites a shift in focus. Instead of dwelling on the uncontrollable, it prompts us to ask, what, in this moment, can I control? The answer always lies within our mindset, our adaptability, our response. This focus builds a mental fortress that external chaos cannot breach. Stuck in traffic, instead of simmering with anger, we can use the time to reflect, to plan, or simply to enjoy a moment of quiet. The traffic does not change, but our experience of it is utterly transformed. Understanding control also means accepting the limits of our influence. This is not resignation, but a strategic redirection of our energy toward what truly matters. Imagine yourself as the captain of a ship in a storm. You cannot command the wind or the waves, but you have absolute authority over the rudder and the sails. This is the Stoic approach, to manage our ship, ourselves, with wisdom and integrity, no matter how fierce the storm. This practice prepares us for any outcome, teaching us to remain composed whether things go our way or not. This detachment is liberating. It allows us to act with full commitment, free from the burden of needing a specific result to be happy. This is what the Stoics call selective indifference, caring deeply about our effort while remaining indifferent to the whims of fortune. The Stoic understanding of control is a powerful antidote to modern anxiety. It grounds us in the present, empowers us to live with intention, and allows us not just to cope with life's unpredictability, but to thrive in its midst. This is not learned overnight. It requires practice. But the reward, a profound sense of empowerment, is worth the effort. It is about living philosophy, one controlled, thoughtful response at a time. In Stoic philosophy, virtue is not just a moral guide, it is the very source of a fulfilling life. Stoicism makes a radical claim. The pursuit of virtue is the pursuit of happiness. In a world that often equates happiness with pleasure or success, this may seem counterintuitive. But for the Stoics, happiness is not found in fleeting achievements or material wealth. It is forged in the character of a virtuous life. What is Stoic virtue? It stands on 4 pillars: wisdom, the clear-eyed understanding of the world; courage, the strength to face adversity; justice, the drive to treat others with fairness and compassion; and temperance, the art of self-control and moderation. Together, these virtues form the blueprint for a life well lived. The happiness that flows from virtue is fundamentally different from the pleasures we so often chase. It is a stable, enduring state of inner peace that comes from knowing you have acted in accordance with your highest principles. This kind of happiness cannot be shaken by external events, because it is built not on what happens to us, but on how we choose to respond. This approach is incredibly empowering. It means that our well-being is not at the mercy of our circumstances. Happiness becomes something we actively build through our choices, day by day. Practicing virtue is a commitment to self-improvement. When we practice temperance, we resist harmful impulses. When we practice justice, we strengthen our communities. Each virtuous act not only enriches our own life, but sends ripples of positivity out into the world. In a world of conflicting pressures, Stoicism offers a clear directive: focus on living virtuously. This simplifies our decisions and guides us to focus on being good, rather than simply feeling or looking good. Embracing Stoic virtue is not about suppressing emotion, but about finding a deeper, more meaningful happiness that sustains us through life's storms. It is a challenging path, but every step taken in virtue is a step toward a more peaceful, resilient, and deeply fulfilled existence. One of the most compelling aspects of Stoicism is its power to reframe our perception and, in doing so, change our reality. The philosophy begins with a core premise. It is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Imagine being caught in a rainstorm. The misery you feel is not caused by the rain itself, but by your perception of it as a personal inconvenience. A Stoic reframing would invite you to see it differently, not as an annoyance, but as a vital, natural process that nourishes the earth. This simple shift in thought transforms your emotional response. This principle places you firmly in the driver's seat of your own emotions. We cannot control the weather, the traffic, or the actions of others, but we always control our response. This is the dichotomy of control in action. Consider a sudden change of direction on a project at work. The initial reaction might be frustration, but through a Stoic lens, this setback becomes an opportunity, a chance to learn, to demonstrate flexibility, to grow stronger. This reframing doesn't just change how you feel, it changes the nature of the event in your experience of it. This is more than mere positive thinking. It is about aligning our expectations with the true nature of the world, a world of constant change and unpredictability. By doing so, we reduce our disappointments and enhance our resilience. We are no longer fighting the current of life, but moving with it. This practice also grounds us in the present moment. Instead of being lost in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, we are invited to focus on the here and now, on what we can do with virtue in this very moment. This is liberating. Reframing perception is a transformative process that leads to genuine inner peace. As we practice this, we discover that many of the walls we face are of our own making, built from our misjudgments. Tearing down these walls does not just change our view of the world, it changes the world we live in. The quality of our lives is determined not by our circumstances, but by the perceptions we choose. Within Stoicism lies a profound and challenging concept, amor fati, a Latin phrase that means a love of fate. This is not passive acceptance of whatever life brings. It is an active, joyful embrace of it all, the good, the bad, the unexpected, as necessary and beneficial for our growth. It is a powerful mindset that transforms adversity into a source of strength. How do we learn not just to accept, but to love our fate? It begins with the understanding that everything that happens is an opportunity. Our character is forged not by our experiences, but by our response to them. To love our fate is to trust in the flow of life, believing that there is value in every moment. We do not wish for hardship, but we find purpose in its inevitability. The beauty of amor fati lies in its radical optimism. Instead of fighting against the currents of life, we learn to swim with them. If you lose a job, it is natural to feel anxious. But amor fati invites a shift in perspective. Perhaps this is an opportunity to find a path more aligned with your passions, or a chance to cultivate resilience. Embracing this concept also means letting go of bitterness and regret. We accept the past for what it is, an integral part of the journey that shaped who we are today. This frees us to move forward with a lighter spirit. Furthermore, amor fati teaches us to find joy in the journey itself, not just the destination. It is easy to defer happiness to a future milestone, but Stoicism reminds us that profound joy is available right here, right now, if only we choose to embrace it. We can begin this practice in small ways. Each day, reflect on something that didn't go as planned and find the lesson or the strength it offered. This love of fate does not make life easier, but it makes us stronger, more resilient, and more deeply connected to the world. It transforms our relationship with life itself, turning every experience into a path toward greater wisdom and peace. Embarking on the journey to Stoicism is like beginning a profound adventure into the landscape of your own life. It is not about learning theories. It is about turning timeless wisdom into daily practice, practices that build resilience, deepen happiness, and fortify the soul. The journey begins with that foundational shift in perspective, recognizing that while we cannot control what happens to us, we have absolute control over how we respond. This is the cornerstone of Stoic freedom. It liberates us from the feeling of being a victim of circumstance and empowers us to become the architects of our inner world. As we walk this path, we learn to cultivate the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are not abstract ideals, but practical guides for navigating the complexities of life. This journey also demands mindfulness, the practice of being fully present. By observing our thoughts and reactions without judgment, we can identify the patterns that pull us away from our ideals and gently guide ourselves back. Practical exercises, like a nightly reflection on our actions, reinforce our commitment and allow us to learn from our experiences. Most importantly, the Stoic journey teaches us to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Every obstacle becomes a teacher. Instead of feeling defeated by difficulty, we learn to ask, "What can this teach me?" This not only builds resilience, but opens us up to a lifetime of learning. Finally, the path to Stoicism is a lifelong pursuit. It is not about achieving a state of perfection, but about the continuous striving to become more virtuous, more resilient, and more aligned with our truest self day after day. As we progress, we discover that the rewards of this journey are not just personal tranquility and strength, but a deeper, more meaningful connection to our shared human experience. Its benefits ripple outwards, touching our relationships and the world around us. To walk the path of Stoicism is to embark on a journey of profound growth and transformation. It is a path that calls on us to look inward, to re-examine what we hold dear, and to bring our actions into harmony with our deepest values. It schools us in the art of being unyielding in the face of adversity, yet gentle and compassionate in our dealings with others. This is a journey that doesn't just elevate our own existence. It holds the power to enrich the lives of all those we encounter. So let us step onto this path with open hearts and open minds, prepared to learn and to grow in ways we have yet to imagine. But how do we bring this philosophy from the page into our daily lives? Integrating Stoicism is about more than simply adopting an outlook. It's about the alchemy of turning abstract principles into the concrete actions and habits that shape our reality. This practical application isn't reserved for moments of crisis or quiet contemplation. It is designed for the fabric of the ordinary, the small decisions, the daily interactions, the subtle challenges that truly define the course of our lives. Our practice begins at dawn. The first step is to start each day with intention. This can be as simple as setting aside a few quiet moments each morning to look ahead, reminding ourselves of the cardinal virtues we seek to embody: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. We might ask ourselves, how can I express temperance in my consumption today? Where will I find the opportunity to practice courage, whether at my desk or in a difficult conversation? This quiet morning ritual becomes our compass, setting a purposeful tone for the day and aligning our intentions with our highest ideals. As the day unfolds, our practice continues in the space between stimulus and response. It calls for a gentle awareness of our automatic reactions, a moment of observation where we ask if our impulses align with our principles. When events stray from our plans, instead of letting frustration or anger take the reins, we are invited to pause. In that pause, we can take a breath and remember the core tenet of Stoicism. While we cannot control what happens around us, we hold absolute dominion over our response to it. This simple, profound habit of pausing before we act can transform our interactions, dissolving stress and preventing needless conflict. This practice also extends to the inner world of our emotions. Stoicism teaches us that turmoil often arises not from events themselves, but from flawed judgments about them, from an excessive attachment to things that lie beyond our grasp. When we feel the tide of a difficult emotion begin to rise, we can learn to step back and question its source. Am I distressed by something I cannot change? Have I placed my peace in the hands of external validation or material gain? By interrogating the roots of our emotional state and recalibrating our expectations, we can reclaim our inner citadel of calm and find our way back to a clearer perspective. Our relationships, too, become a training ground for virtue. The Stoics placed immense value on justice and kindness, urging us to practice empathy, to be fair in our judgments, and to always consider the common good. It is a call to treat everyone with dignity and understanding, especially when we face disagreement, or when we ourselves are not treated with the kindness we might expect. By weaving these virtues into the fabric of our connections, we not only live a more stoic life, but we actively contribute to a more harmonious and supportive world. And as the day draws to a close, our practice comes full circle with evening reflection. This is not an exercise in harsh self-criticism, but one of honest and gentle self-assessment. We can ask, where did I act with virtue today? In which moments could I have been more aligned with my principles? This nightly review solidifies the lessons learned, preparing us to meet the dawn with greater wisdom and resilience. It is a quiet commitment to continual improvement, a way of marking our progress on this lifelong journey. Finally, the Stoic practitioner learns to embrace challenges as the very crucible of their growth. Obstacles cease to be mere impediments. They are transformed into opportunities to forge our virtues. A difficult project, a personal setback, an unexpected turn of events. Each becomes a chance to apply our wisdom and temper our resilience. When we weave these practices into the tapestry of our days, Stoicism transcends the pages of a book and becomes a living, breathing guide. It shapes our thoughts, guides our reactions, enriches our relationships, and deepens our understanding of the world. Through this practical application, we learn not merely to survive life's challenges, but to thrive within them, discovering a profound sense of purpose and peace along the way. As we conclude our exploration today, let this be our guiding thought. To embrace Stoicism is not merely to understand it, but to live it. Every moment, every choice, and every challenge is a fresh invitation to practice resilience, to cultivate wisdom, and to act with virtue. By weaving these principles into the fabric of our lives, the change begins within us, but it doesn't end there. It ripples outward, transforming our world one thoughtful action at a time. Thank you for walking this path with me today, and for being a vital part of our community. If you wish to journey deeper into these ideas, I invite you to explore one of the videos now on your screen. Together, let us continue to grow, to reflect, and to embrace the Stoic path toward a more tranquil and fulfilling life.